On the border, the choice is simple. Kamala Harris supports increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents. Kamala Harris supports investing in new technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Donald Trump blocked funding for technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Kamala Harris supports spending more money to stop human traffickers. Donald Trump blocked money to stop human traffickers. Kamala Harris prosecuted transnational gang members and got them sentenced to prison. Trump is trying to avoid being sentenced to prison. There's two choices in this election: the one who will fix our broken immigration system, and the one who's trying to stop her.
I wanted to start by playing that ad from the Kamala Harris campaign because it addresses what Donald Trump and Republicans are trying to make the main issue of this campaign. And that's the border now, lately. Republicans, especially at the instruction of Donald Trump, have been attacking Kamala Harris, saying things that are just incorrect about her involvement with the border, saying that she was appointed the border czar, which was never her position within the administration, and that an unsecure border is wholly her fault. Which of course isn't true, because an unsecure border is the result of the lack of a bipartisan border deal. And so, if Republicans want to say the border is unsecure, it is because of them. And Donald Trump instructing them to blow up that deal. But of course, Republicans don't actually care about the truth, they never have. And so they continue to levy these false claims against Kamala Harris. After a new leaked report, they are really just blowing up in their face, and it is incredible to see. But first, I want to get a little bit more context and see this Truth Social post that Donald Trump recently put out about the border. Trump posted on Truth Social, "Kamala Harris doesn't have the mental capacity to do a real debate against me, scheduled for September 4th in Pennsylvania. She's afraid to do it because there is no way she can justify her corrupt and open borders, the environmental destruction of our country, the Afghanistan embarrassment," and continues on like that. Now, I don't want to have to read any more of a Trump Truth Social post than I have to. So we're going to stop it there. But clearly, Donald Trump first and foremost attacking Kamala Harris on the border. Of course, a fake attack that he's making there not based in the truth. And what shows that that attack is not based in the truth is a new report showing how border crossings are actually plummeting right now, completely flipping Donald Trump's talking point on its head, because the Biden-Harris administration is doing a better job on the border than he ever did. And I want to get into that article. Trump's angry new attack on dumb Kamala gets wrecked by leaked data. As Trump keeps blasting borders, are Kamala Harris. New data on plummeting border crossings badly undermines his lies and demagoguery. In more ways than you might think at a rally in Pennsylvania on Wednesday, Donald Trump rolled out a new attack on Vice President Kamala Harris that showcased his well-known fondness for high-toned discourse. Her handling of immigration reveals her as not just weak, but also dumb. The former president lately claimed that Venezuelan gang members were plotting to conduct ambush attacks on American cops. Then added all the while Harris and Biden sit in the White House and try to figure out who is dumber. He proceeded to blame Borders Czar Harris for a series of crimes by migrants, even though President Biden tasked her with addressing the root causes of Central American migration. While the Department of Homeland Security secures the border, unfortunately for Trump, unpublished DHS data shows that border encounters between ports of entry plummeted again to approximately 57,000 in July. According to an official familiar with the numbers, the data, which is preliminary until its official release in the coming days, was also leaked to CBS News in the New York Times. This is the fifth straight month of declining border crossings and the lowest monthly figure of the Biden administration. According to the Times, 9 separate months during the Trump administration saw more border crossings than July. Under Biden these numbers badly undermine Trump's primary attack line on Harris, and not just in the most obvious way. It's self-evident that declining migrant apprehensions counter Trump's claim that the border is out of control due to alleged Biden-Harris weakness and stupidity. But it's also important to dwell on why the numbers are falling. because this will demonstrate even more clearly that Trump's ongoing attacks over the issue are nonsense, and that the truly dumb approach is Trump's. The dropping border numbers are often attributed to Biden's new executive actions announced in June that effectively suspended asylum seeking. When border encounters rise above certain thresholds, the idea is that if migrants can't seek asylum here, it disincentivizes making the TR to the border to try to apply for it. But there's another reason for the dropping numbers. Mexico, as many immigration analysts have noted. Mexico has intensified its crackdown on migrants journeying north, busting them back to the southernmost part of the country that has served as a major impediment to migrants trying to journey from Central America to the US-Mexico border. Little is known about the precise role that Biden played in getting Mexico to institute this crackdown. But Andrew Seeley, president of the Migration Policy Institute, says most analysts agree that Biden's private diplomacy with the Mexican president played a crucial part. What all this really shows is that fixing the challenge posed by migration to the southern border depends on solutions that are regional in nature. The basic thrust of Trump's attacks at bottom is that presidential toughness is the only real way to solve the problem, but border security, while obviously playing a crucial role in managing migration, is far from the sole answer. Trump views the issue as starting and ending at the border. A senior fellow at the American Immigration Council told me, but this is a diplomatic issue that requires a regional approach. What we're seeing at the border now is proof of that. In other words, the declining numbers don't merely illustrate that Biden's asylum restrictions are having an impact. They also show that viewing the problem as one to be solved, in no small part through diplomacy in the Americas, as Harris deeply believes to be true, is also the smarter approach. The entire Trump attack is also nonsense for other reasons. There's no link between migration and crime is sharply down under the Biden administration. The Harris campaign is drawing up plans to attack Trump on immigration. To that end, the new border numbers will surely help. But rather than simply recite them as evidence that the border is under control, the campaign could also use them to make a broader argument. Trump is offering mainly empty bluster and cartoon toughness, while he uses immigration in regional, that is, three-dimensional terms. In short, she might argue, the only dumb one here is Donald Trump himself. Now, I think that article does a great job encapsulating this entire issue, but I think someone else who always does a great job talking about the issues is Pete Buttigieg, and he had great comments about this specific issue on Fox that I want to check out.
Let's get real. Border crossings are down in the wake of President Biden's executive actions that he took after Congress failed to act.
So he could have taken action.
He wanted Congress to resolve that because that would have been more durable. But when Trump came in, talked Republicans out of their own bipartisan project because he didn't want the issue to get better. Remember, the worse things are at the border, the better things get for Donald Trump. So he has a vested interest in it remaining chaotic down there. I think this also helps to explain why he didn't exactly conclusively solve it when it was his turn. But I saw something else really important happening at the Republican National Convention on the border and the talk about immigration, which we all recognize is a problem, which is they tried to paint this narrative that if you live somewhere far from the border and immigration hasn't affected you personally, you need to think that immigration is a driver of crime. That was the real message. Immigration leads to crime.
Well, there are blue state governors and mayors who say every state is a border state now. That's Democrats.
Yeah, they're saying, but what the false message of the RNC was that this is leading to an increase in crime.
Well,
and I think it's really important that we talk about crime.
Have been very high profile about people. If they had not been in this country
cases,
illegally,
this is my
people
point,
would still
right?
be alive.
Trying to make people think that crime is up when crime is down under Joe Biden and crime was up under Donald Trump. Now, I don't know how often that gets reported on this network, so if you're watching this at home, do yourself a favor and look up the data.
Donald Trump wants to act tough. He wants to pretend that he is a strong leader, but he's not. And it's evidenced in his record. Kamala Harris and the Biden administration have actually gotten real things done. And on the issue of the border, as we can tell, there have been real results that have come out of there. Thoughtful diplomacy and policy making. Donald Trump just wants to walk around and pretend he's a macho man and thinks that'll solve the problem, but it won't. And so, as the article stated, Donald Trump's attacks on KLA Harris being stupid fall pretty short and pretty hard, because it's actually Donald Trump who has no grasp of these issues, because he doesn't care. He wants to run on them, he wants to attack them, he doesn't want to solve them. And that is not a leader we deserve. And that is a leader are voting against no in November. And that is what this movement is about, calling out Donald Trump. And that's what we will continue to do on this channel. And so if you like this channel, make sure, as always, that you hit that subscribe button. You join what we are building here by becoming a subscriber. And if you like these videos, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Hit that like button. It really goes a long way. And while you're here, while I have you here, if you want to support this channel in an extra way, you can hit that join button and become a monthly member, an exclusive member of this channel. And the support really goes a long way and would mean the world to me. And until next time, I'll see you soon.